I said to the wife, I've got to see a man about a dog. It was a man, but not a dog, it was a bird. A beautiful little hen called Flanders Girl. And I paid a handsome sum for this champion. A little later in the week, her indoors asked, where's all the money gone? I pointed to the shed and said, look in there, you'll see my new champion. That night was cold and I was told I had to sleep with my new bird. I learned my lesson laying on the floor in the bloom, the corn and straw. Next day was payday and I rushed to the bank to see what I could withdraw. See, I'd had an idea in the middle of the night, cold and on the floor. When I got home, the look on her face, she appeared to be in shock. In my left hand was a big, beautiful, sapphire-colored cock.
Righty-o. So the hens I let out this morning, and inside there I've also got the old hens, and they all went straight back in because I didn't feed them yesterday because I wanted to make sure they went in. I'm not mucking about, so I let them out, scraped it out, and then only one hung around on the roof. Managed to get her in eventually though. Right, it's your turn now. The only reason I'm letting them out is I let them out a little bit last year during the off season, but I found it takes quite a bit to get them fit again. And when I was at the moot this weekend, it was suggested that it's sometimes actually better just to keep them flying, otherwise they get scared when they go back out at the beginning of the year. A lot of people worry too much about the sparrowhawk, and although the sparrowhawk does come around and try and gobble them up, it might be best to keep them in some sort of level of fitness. Most of them are most of the way through the body molt now. There's still a few young birds looking a little bit scraggly. Come on, you get. Come on. Quickly scrape them out. I think this floor might be on its last legs. Now that it's almost November. It's not drying out as much. It's still dry enough, but just where the underneath the perches gets quite wet. Don't know if my box has been doing very. Ooh, look at that. There's more feathers behind it, but there's quite a lot. That's caught quite a lot of the little feathers. Maybe that does work. I might refine that design. I think it needs to slope and have a slot at the top and a slot at the bottom and then a tray. So this is the first time these 20-25 birds, young birds, have trapped into here. See if we can get them in.
This is one of the reasons I'm thinking of replacing my two lofts with one big one, so that the birds only ever need to learn to come in through one entrance, regardless of whether they're young birds, yearlings, hens or cocks. Whereas with my current setup, the 20-25 boys need to learn to come into their new home, which is different to last year. Some find it easier than others.
They'll work it out. So I went to the moot on Saturday night, and it was really good actually, but I was really tired. I haven't stayed up till that time. I think I got back just gone 1 o'clock in the morning. Nigel asked me if I wanted to do a quick word about Pigeon Pathways, which I did. Probably forgot most of the things that I wanted to say about it because I was knackered. I filmed most of it with the big camcorder. The problem is they had issues with the sound, so the microphone didn't pick up the sound as well as I'd hoped, but you can still make out what people were saying. So I've put I'll edit that into probably sections because it's quite long, it's like 3 or 4 hours. I'll edit it into chunks and I'll put that on the Pigeon Racer TV YouTube channel, so you can go over there and watch that. It's a bit dry for non-fanciers. It's specifically for people that, it's specifically for fanciers.
It's time to go to Leeds. To moot. For those that don't know, a moot is a sort of panel made up of experts within the sport that discuss all things racing pigeons. And Nigel asked if I wanted to go along to see what it's all about.
What name is it?
Dan Brown.
Yes, pal. Nice to meet you, mate.
This moot was held at Hare Hills Homing Society in Leeds, and by the time it started, it was standing room only.
You know, we're coming through molt, treatments, inoculations. What do you do now? What's now you, Stu?
I am not one for vaccinations, but I'll be honest, I brought a lot of new pigeons in, and this year I will be vaccinating and treating for paratyphoid. Normally I only ever use parastop. I spoke to one of the vets in Holland, and I asked him about his advice around injection for salmonella, and he laughed at me. He said, I've been on your Facebook page, and 50% of the people that you bought your pigeons from are my customers, and they inject for paratyphoid. So you're really taking a risk if you don't. So that's what I'm going to do.
For the breeding stud, we've got probably about 600 pigeons there. We make sure that they're vaccinated every year with Columba-Vac.
And young birds, I now do them for paratyphoid twice. I'm a big believer in vaccination, and not antibiotics, not treatments.
This first one is from Kevin Rooney. He's probably in the top 3 fanciers in Northern Ireland, certainly in the top 4 or 5 fanciers in the whole of Ireland on the island.
Prior to the interval, there was an auction of some apparently high quality, and read that as expensive, birds. One day I'll have a go at bidding when I know what it is that I'm looking for.
Out for Owen Markey, and whoa, what a fancier. We've got him for the first time in Doncaster. He's got a pigeon called Movie Star, and I think that's a grandson of Great Gus. So, loads of interest outside the room. So we've got an opening bid of £1,100, ladies and gentlemen. Putting up. There you are, ladies and gentlemen. What a fantastic blue, perfect feather quality, perfect head shape, everything that we talked about just now in terms of the confirmation at £1,100. Somebody want to put me in at £1,150 anywhere? At £1,100, ladies and gentlemen. £1,150, thank you, sir. At £1,150, 12 with that gentleman there. £1,250 with you. 2.5, 2.6, 2.7, 2.8, 2.9, 3,000, 3.1, 3,200, 3.3, 3.4, 3.5, 3.6. He says no. You finished, sir? Yeah. He's finished. At £3,500. Once. £3,500. Twice. So to the gentleman I write, £3,500.
At the end of the night, several hours past my bedtime, I had a chance to quickly explain to everyone a little bit about Pigeon Pathways. Unfortunately, I forgot to pan wide with the camera, so I'll just show a short clip.
Listen to what this lad's got to say, because Daniel, I don't know whether you watch his YouTube channel. Like I've said a million times, a breath of fresh air to Pigeon World. It's just started again, and I've been talking to 2 people that's come back into pigeon racing this year through watching the videos done by this lad.
Thanks for putting me on the spot, Nige. So last week we set up, last week, it went live last week, but we've been doing it for nearly 2 years. We've set up something called Pigeon Pathways. Audience participation, has anybody put your hand up if you've heard of it? Oh, that's pretty good, okay, right, so something, right now, how many of you have actually signed up to be a member or done it? Oh, brilliant, okay, great, that's good. Right, so I don't get paid for it. John Waters, Stuart Mellor, Ian Evans, everybody will know him, I'm sure. None of us are getting paid for it, it's all voluntary, it's taken.
There's some really good bits of information on there, and one of the reasons I'm letting my birds fly out today is because one of the guys on the panel said that he likes to keep his birds flying throughout the winter because he finds that they become scared of coming out when he lets them out after breeding, and I found it was quite hard to get them going after being locked up all winter. And the winter just gone, I did let them out a little bit and it was a little bit easier, but this time I'm just going to try and get them out once or twice a week.
The day after, Mark, the chap who organised the event, called to say they were making a donation to Pigeon Pathways, which was nice. And the good news doesn't stop there.
Yeah, Matt, I'm John. Obviously, I've known Ian and Dan for a while. I used to be involved in the RPRA alongside Ian. So I've got involved in Pigeon Pathways to try and improve the sport, really, and make it obviously last as long as we possibly can.
Good idea. Well, I'm Matt. Right. Well, I'm Eco Sheds. That the sport needs to bring more younger members in, but don't overlook what we've got coming in every year. And I see it because I'm selling pigeon lofts, and every year there is guys, and this is where I think not your target market, but I think you need to spend a lot of thought on this. What I'm telling you, there's a lot of people retiring, and one bonus with retiring is they need a hobby. And every year there's someone else retiring, and every year there's more people retiring. So it's never going to end. People are never going to start retiring. Well, they need something to do.
That's a good point, actually. I mean, you're on the coal face there, so I guess almost you're one of the first, if not the first, point of approach for a lot of people. Point of contact for potential newcomers to the hobby. I mean, RPRA will be one where they go onto the website and just try and look up some stuff. I'd almost think it'd be reversed as well. So it'd be what we're trying to be is the first site or the first sort of. I mean, I think there was somebody put a comment on it on the video the other day and said, "I'm not sure why YouTube's algorithm thinks I'm interested in pigeon racing. I've never considered it before, but I've watched 25 episodes in the last 2 days, and now I'm looking at buying a new loft." And then I snapshotted that and I put it on the Facebook page, and somebody else commented and said, "I've done exactly the same thing." YouTube and Google and Facebook, Meta, they all know us better than how many times do you see something you go, "Oh, I quite like that." So they know the kind of people that would be interested, whether it's somebody that's about to retire or somebody that's got a hobby of fishing or something like that. So the algorithms know the likely people that would be interested in racing pigeons because they look at lookalike audiences, people that are already doing it. So they push the pigeon videos and before people even know that they might think about it, especially those that have never had any interaction with the sport before. And that's what I think is really powerful because nobody's really leveraged that or used it.
It's brilliant, but what you got to also consider, there's a lot of guys out there who unfortunately in this way world hard to believe, they don't do internet, they don't do Facebook, they don't do social media, and they're the ones. Let's not forget about them. Let's think about
Probably that many though, surely, right? That don't do internet.
No, there's more people coming into pigeon sport than there is retiring, in my opinion, because I'm a very busy man. You know?
Yeah, that was a question I was going to ask you. Have you noticed the decline, Matt? Or no,
I haven't. No, and I'll do anything I can to help. If it means help design a loft with you, what's more affordable to bring younger people in, I'm all there.
You obviously, Matt, we talked briefly, didn't we, on the phone about our idea about going to like country shows, etc. Which again was where we're going to catch the people you mentioned, which perhaps necessarily haven't got social media, etc. So we were looking at having built something lightweight loft that we can erect there at the showground and put pigeons in. If that's something you can help with,
Of course I can. Yeah. I mean, give me some sizes, and then it's sort of bittersweet for me because I want to try and make you something light, but then I don't want to make something crap and put my name on it.
I know. I was thinking exactly that. So I was thinking about that. It's a bit of a compromise there, isn't it? Perhaps it might be smarter to go smaller and good quality. And then we can all. And then if you've got a brochure or some sort, then because people will ask, it's the first thing they'll say is, well, "How much would one of these set us back?" And then if we've got something we're going to hand out and say, "Here you go, this is the guy to speak to." And then I was also thinking actually that we might just want to put a couple of birds in an aviary that you can't get to from the inside. So they can go inside and they can look inside the loft, because I think that's part of the appeal is when you're actually in there. And so if we just made something that, 2 or 3 people can transport on a trailer and erect in an hour or two.
And you talk about next weekend because I'm at show, so I'm selling. I'm there. I'm available. So if you want to chat to me or you got anything else,
we'll be there.
Yeah.
Cheers, Matt. Thanks very much, mate.
Thank you much, Matt.
Thank you very much.
Thanks
Cheers.
a lot. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
lots of people have messaged, so I've been going through those. Hopefully everyone that's messaged I've managed to reply to. The good news is we've got a spot at Doncaster show coming up on the 1st of November, so we'll be there. So people that can't or don't know how to subscribe or join up with the membership or donate online, they can do that at Doncaster, but you will need an email address, so you can use your son's, daughters if you don't have one. One other thing that I think would be really useful for us is if we're going to do a quarterly newsletter. Now, to begin with, pretty much everybody that receives that quarterly newsletter are going to be fanciers, members themselves. So I think it'd be quite interesting to get people's opinions almost on what should be done to try and promote the sport. And then also maybe some useful things for new members, new flyers, sort of tidbits of information, how to go about choosing a loft or choosing your birds and which clubs to fly or direction to fly, which nationals or whatever it might be. So, but what we specifically want from this is there's a magazine called, a fishing magazine, angling magazine, I buy a few times, and it's called Fallon's Angler. It's really high quality, and I think that's what we'd need to do that, because obviously with volunteers, we haven't got time to sort of go through everybody's work or the skills probably to go through everybody's work and check for errors and can you write a good article? Does it read right? So take a bit of care in it if you want to do it, because we just don't have the time to do it. But I might give it a go, but I think I'd want to make sure that it sounds good, it reads good. I mean, I can't even talk proper, so I'm probably going to struggle to write it. But just things like the grammar, the structure of the sentence, just make it enjoyable to read. And if we can include photos, some high quality photos, that'd be even better. So if you're a photographer and you can take pictures that sort of accompany the article or the letter that you want to write, then do that. Send it in to hello@pigeonpathways.com. And we'll be able to go through that and then collate it into a quarterly newsletter. And we'll do an update for what Pigeon Pathways is doing anyway. But that'll probably be about as much as I put out about Pigeon Pathways on this channel. Everything going forward now will be on Pigeon Racer TV, just because I don't want to sort of use this channel solely for that, because it's not just me doing it. There's another 3 guys, there's Stu, Ian and John working on that.
So the response to our quest to promote pigeon racing has, so far, been overwhelmingly positive. So thank you to all that have helped to date. We're still hoping to get more members and donations, and if there are any companies out there that want to contribute, remember we're trying to get more customers into the fancy for you too. The next few months will be spent getting everything organised, so Pigeon Pathways members, keep an eye on your email inbox.